Conditionals. Now, conditionals is statements executed if conditions are true or false. And that conditional is called an if statement. Okay? It can occur in various forms. It can be in just an if statement. For example, X, let me write it as a code to illustrate the example. So let me write number is equal to 5. If number is equal to 5, is anything wrong with this line of code? It should be what? W equal, because 1 equal to is for assignment. W equal to is for what? Comparison, isn't it? So I write if number is equal to 5. When you're writing an if statement, you have to terminate it with full column. Is that understood? When you press enter, there is an indentation. The code you want to execute with each statement must be in that indentation. Is that understood? So if x is equal to 5, then I write print welcome. Is this understood? So this, with this line of code, this means number is equal to 5. So will this print welcome, guys? It will print what? Welcome, because that condition is true. Is that understood? If I have written number is equal to 6, will it print welcome? But will it print anything? Will anything happen? No. It's just like if number is 5, do this. What if it is not 5? Nothing is stated. So nothing will be done. Is this understood? So if I run this line of code now, nothing is done. But if I change this to 5, then welcome is printed. Is this understood? That is one way of writing an if statement. Then the next way is to write it as if else. Else means what if it is not 5? Then something else is executed. In the first example, if it is not 5, nothing is done. But with this else statement, that means something else will be executed. Then let me print go away. Okay, go away. Now, if else, this will be executed. If you look at this print welcome, it is inside the indentation of if, isn't it? Else, print go away is inside the indentation of what? Of else. Like I told you, a code will only be executed in the if statement in that indentation. Is that understood? So that means if I have written here, x is equal to number is equal to 7. Number is equal to 7 will not be printed in it, will not be executed in the if statement. It will not be executed in the else statement because they do not belong to that indentation. Is that understood? Is that understood, everyone? Okay, good. So if number is 5, it will print welcome. It will ignore the else statements. Only one will be executed. So once the first line is true, the other line will be ignored. What is number, everyone? 5. Then it prints what? Welcome. Will it check the condition for else? No. It just jumps to number equals to 7. Is this understood? If number is 6, it checks if number is 5. Is this true? Then it now checks else. It is only checking else if the first condition is not true. If the first condition is true, it will not check else. Is that understood? So if I print this now, it prints go away because number is not 5. Is that understood? If number is equal to 5, and I print it, it prints welcome. It's only what? It only check one condition. But this number is equal to 7. Will this always be executed? Yes, it will also always be executed because it does not belong to any of the if statement. It's not a condition. Is that understood? So print welcome will be printed if a condition is true. Why? If go away will be printed if that condition is false. So if I come here, number is equal to 7, print number. If this code is 1, then you see welcome, you also see 7. Why? Number is 5. Is the condition true? Yes. Is the condition true? Yes. Then what will be printed? Will this else condition be checked? No. Then what next thing? Number is 7 and it prints 7. Is this understood? If I have written number is equal to 6, it checks if number is 5. Is this condition true? Will it print welcome? Then it check what? Else. And it print what? Go away. And number is now changed from what? From 6 to 7. And 7 is printed. So if I run this again, so you see, go away and 7. Is this understood? That is another form of if else. That is, if one condition is not true, check the other. If it is not true, then do this. If it is true, do this. If it is not true, do this. We can also have it this way. Let's take a look at this code. These are independent if statements. One does not depend on another. If this first one is true, everything is checked. It's checked if number, what is the value for number, guys? 6. It's checked if the number is 5. Is the number 5? No. It checks if the number is 6. Is the number 6? So will it jump this code? No. It checks it again. For if else, else is dependent on if. Is that understood? If I write if, then I write else here. That means if this is true, if this is not true, check the other one. But in this line of code, everything will be checked because all these if statements are not dependent. So it checks if the number is 5. Since it is not true, it jumps this. It checks if the number is 6. Since this is true, it prints this. It also checks if the number is 7. If it is not true, then it jumps. Everything is executed. This is dependent on each other. All this if is dependent on each other. So with this, it first checks if the number is 5. Is the number 5? No. Then it checks if the number is 6. Is number 6 now? It doesn't check this one. It just jumps since one of them is true. Do you understand? Since one of them is true, everything will not be checked. Is that understood? Elif number is 6. Elif number is 6. Now, it check this. Is this 5? Is this 6? No. Is this 5 rather? No. It checks this. Is this 6? Yes. It prints you are welcome, then leaves. It will never execute who sent you here. So if I run this code, you are not welcome. Does it print who sent you here? No, it jumps. Is that understood? But if I have written each independent if, I told you everything will be executed, right? So let's print this. You are not welcome. Who sent you here? Both is what? Is printed. Both is executed because they are not dependent on each other. Is this understood, everyone? Good. Now the number is 8. Is any of the condition true? Nothing is done. Is that understood? Nothing is done. Now, if I write this, else print nothing is done. Okay. Which of the if statements is this else dependent on?
Everything.
No. This else is only dependent on the last if statement. It's not dependent on these two if statements. Do you understand? It's only dependent on what? On the last if statement. Is that understood? So that means it's check if the number is 5. It checks if the number is 6. It checks if the number is 6. If it is not 6, then it prints nothing is here. Is that understood? So that means if I write number is 6, then I run this code now. Then you see, you are not welcome. Who sent you here? Nothing is done, will not be printed. Because it's only dependent on what? On this. Then if I also go back here to change this to maybe 8, for example, then I run this code, it runs nothing is done. Because that number is not 6. Is that understood? It's only dependent on what? On if the number is 6. If I and nothing is done. So if the number is 5, it will execute. Is the number 5, everyone? Yes. Welcome we printed. Is number 6? No. Is number 6? No. Then else nothing is done. Is that understood? So if I print this now, if I run this code now, you can see welcome, nothing is done. Is this understood, everyone? Please, if you don't understand, ask question. So like I said, this else now depends on this if. Okay. Now if I've written this, if number is equal to, if number modulo 6 is equal to 0. What does this mean? Let me assume the value is 36. Okay. The value is 36. Is number 5? So this is ignored. This whole code is what? Ignored. Is the number divisible by 6? Then it prints what? You are not welcome. Will it execute this else statement? No. It jumps to this if it is equal to 6. Is that understood? Is the number equal to 6? No. Then it goes to the what? Else and print nothing is done. Is this understood? So if I run this, then you see what we just said. You are not welcome, nothing is done. Is this understood? So you should understand the flow of if statements, how you can write them. Then for elif as well, so let's take a look at this code now. If number is equal to 5, is number equal to 5? Is it equal to 5? Then this, it will not be executed. So will it check other functions? But what if number is equal to 5? Will it check other functions? No. Is that understood? It will not check on that function. So now that number is equal to 5, what will it print? Then jump all other functions, right? And what will it print next? Welcome, because this welcome is not part of any of the if statements, right? Because it's not in the indentation. Is that understood? So is the value 5 now? It prints this and ignores the rest, isn't it? But what if the value is, let's say, 27? If the value is 27, it checks if this is equal to 5. Is this equal to 5? It ignores this. Then it checks these two conditions. Is this two conditions true? All means what? Any of them can be true, isn't it? Then it ignores. It checks this. Is this correct?
Yes.
If you divide the number by 3, will the remainder be 0?
Yes.
Then if you divide the number by 2, okay, I didn't write this condition, right? Is equal to 2. If you divide the number by 2, will you get a quotient of 2?
No.
If you divide 27 by 2, will you get a quotient of 2?
No.
So is this first condition true?
Yes.
Is the second condition true?
No.
Because it is AND, so would this be executed?
No.
No. Then what will it print?
And
Then it does go to else. Is that understood? So if I run this now, then end. Welcome. That's all. Is that understood? This would have been true if not because of the AND, isn't it? If I have written all, that means any one of them can be what? Can be true. Is that understood? So if I run this now, then you see, don't know, welcome. Is this understood? Good. Okay, the value of number is what? Is 25, isn't it? Is what does this first line means? If it's divisible by what? By 5. So is it divisible by 5? Then it prints divisible by 5. So because it is divisible by 5, it now will check if it is equal to 5. So this is, as look at this if statement, it is inside the what? Indentation of the first if statements. So if this number is 27, is this condition true? So will it check this if statement? No, because this condition is not true. What does it do? It goes to check this if statement. Is that understood? Is it true? No, then it comes to check this and print this. So since this first condition is not true, none of this indentation will be executed. None. Do you understand? So this indentation will only be executed if this first line is true. Is that understood? So if this is 27, if I print this, then it prints then. Why? Because this first condition is not true, the next condition is not true, then it goes to what? Else. Is this understood? Then if I have made this 25, is this first condition true?
Yes.
It prints what? Divisible by 5. It now checks if the number is 5. Is number 5?
No.
Then it prints what? There. And will it check another condition? No. Is that understood? So if I print this now, if I run this now, then it does this. Divisible by 5. There. I hope this is understood, everyone. Good. Now, your classwork is to write a code which give grades to students according to their scores. So 80 to 100 is A, 70 to 90 is B, 60 to 69 is C, and F.